Hey, what up guys? Today we are working on the Corvette again. So today we are doing a rather minuscule but important mods, and these are two of them right here. This is a skip shift eliminator and this is the C5. We'll get into what these do later, and then I think we're also going to try and lower the car a little bit. Before we get too far into this video, I just want to know where you guys are listening from, so let me know and I'll put a pin on the map. You can see we got a new map this week. We actually have a big map of the US only. I still have my world map over here, so I'll be putting countries on there that people are listening from or watching from, which we actually have one this week. So stay tuned and let's see who's watching from where. Alright, first up this week we got Gainesville, Georgia. So we'll get you on the map. Looking good. We got two from Georgia now. Next we got Decatur, Alabama. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that's all you get. There's a lot of those towns around. I don't know if it's a popular southern name or what, but there's a lot of those. Next we'll do Paradise, Texas. That's located just up here above Fort Worth. That sounds like a nice place to be. Next we got Tracy, California. That's where I pretty much grew up. I know all my buddies thought I was just gonna automatically put them down, but no, you gotta comment on the video to get a spot. And we saved the best for last. We got Brisbane, Australia. That's pretty cool. So you get to go on the old map. You're the only one on the foreign map, so hopefully we can get some more people to comment in. All right, that's everybody for this week. So represent your area, your state, your city, your country, whatever you want. Let's get some more pins up on the map. All right, so first we're gonna be doing the skip shift eliminator. This is literally just a jumper wire. I guess there's a resistor in the middle too. It just emulates a part that's already on the car that we're gonna try and eliminate. So what this does is on the transmission, it only allows you to shift at low RPM or low speed. It only allows you to shift from first directly to fourth gear, which is really annoying when you're just trying to putz along and you're not thinking about that, right? And you try to go to second and then it won't let you go and you're like, you're all frustrated and you can't find fourth now because now you're all out of sequence in the, in the shift range, and before you know it, you're just like, back into first, accelerate again, try it again. It's so frustrating. Everybody that drives these cars or any of these GM vehicles that has that system is, you know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna get rid of that. So it's literally just two connectors, has like a resistor. And what it is there's a solenoid on the transmission itself. I believe it's on the driver's side. Basically all we gotta do is unplug it, plug this in, plug the old connector to the other end of this, and then that's it. So this is pretty easy, simple. It's kind of something that most Corvette owners should probably either know about or do. I've never actually been underneath this car this deep, so let's see what we got in here. There it is. Okay, so that connector right there is what we're going for.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face.
That's it. Pretty exciting, huh? The next thing we're gonna do, C5 module. So this one's pretty important. So these Corvettes have a real common issue where the steering column interlock system that, basically locks the steering wheel when you turn the key off and stuff. It has an issue where that whole system just freaks out. and there has never been an actual correct fix. There's no part to replace to fix it. I don't even know if anybody's been able to program it out of the system or what, but the only way to do that, and the only fix that's ever come around, is this C5 module. I couldn't tell you exactly how it works. Basically, it bypasses the system, and it's supposed to simulate the system as well, so your car thinks that everything is working fine, and it'll never leave you stranded. Because what will happen is, not only will the steering wheel lock, but the computer will not let you start the vehicle if it freaks out, because it thinks, I don't know, if it thinks something's stolen or something's not matching up. So once it freaks out, then you're screwed, because then you're stuck with the locked steering wheel, which requires more tools and procedures to get, but it'll completely leave you stranded once it does it. And it's not a matter of if your car does it, but when. Apparently these things are super common. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if once I dig in here if it's already got one installed, but we'll see. But I got one here to put in. According to instructions, it says it's easy, so we'll see. This one gets installed underneath the passenger side dash here, somewhere in there in the footwell or something. It looks like it's just, I don't know, what, 3 wires, 4 wires, 5 wires? Oh, let's find out.
Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change. Play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong. Need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong. Need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. Face on when I chase like that, yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'ma ride or die for my dreams on tap. I'ma fly real high, you ain't see me slack. No, it's not how you fall, it's how you get right back up. That's how you get tough. Calluses on my hands so rough, yeah, I call your bluff. I'm not the one, mess with me and come out with none. Cause I'm so done, you had your fun. And now you're gonna face down the barrel of the gun. Cause I got a full clip, put your name on it. But I'ma let you slide cause you ain't worth it. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on.
And just like that, it's a week later. We just did the electrical upgrades that we need to do. And I said I was going to do the lowering kit. Well, not a lowering kit, just drop it down on stock bolts. So let's do that real quick.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
So I should have got some good outdoor shots of this thing before we dropped it down a little bit, just to do a little before and after. But it's now dark outside and I'm not pulling this thing out. So let me show you why I want to lower it. Now, as far as lowering goes, doing it this way is probably not going to give me any performance improvements at all. So the reason I do it is strictly for looks. So one thing, I love these Corvettes, but they always look just a little too tall. I don't know if you notice that rear wheel. See how much gap there is between basically the fender and the tire there? To me, that's just too much. Like, you can't have as much gap as there is tire, you know, like this guy here. This is too much versus the tire. Like, you actually have a bigger gap than your tire. So to me, the proportions are just off, and it just doesn't quite look right to me. It's kind of like something they would do factory just to keep it, you know, for the average person to be able to drive better on the street, I guess. I don't know. And the front is similar. See how much gap there is? So I want to get that down as much as possible. And we're gonna do it, oh, I just lost my slipper. We're gonna do it as cheaply as possible, which is actually free. All we're gonna do is we're just gonna adjust the stock bolts, and we're gonna drop it down just to get it down there a little bit, make it look a little better. And then later on, if I really want to, then I can start spending money to actually lower it more. And before we get started, we need to go through and measure where we are. What's our starting? So we're about 28.5 women tall there. Left rear. Left front is about 27 women tall. Right rear is about 28.5 or so. And right front is 27. So we're pretty even side to side, 27 and 28.5.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
We are under the back end here. Let me snake you through the suspension here. Basically, all we gotta do is, there's a nut up here that we basically have to turn. And if we run it all the way up to the top of the threads there, which you can see we have a lot of movement to go there, so we can drop it down quite a bit in the rear here. And that's gonna allow the control arm to actually move up as it rides up that nut. And this is actually the spring. These have a mono leaf spring right here. And basically your control arm is actually hanging well, I don't know if I call it hanging, but it's above the spring. So we're just gonna move the control arm up, basically.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication.
Alright, first one is done. See, we ran that nut all the way to the top. There's about 2 threads left. We'll see how that works out.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. 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 Today's gonna be a
And onto the front, since the rear is done now. The front's a hair different in that we got nothing but a bolt sticking through the spring. So with this one, we have a little floor jack set up here, and we're going to be jacking up on just the end of the leaf spring itself, just to take the tension off, and that bolt will become loose, and then we can thread it out. So let's give it a shot.
I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they ride. Head full of flies, so here come the crowd.
Now with the weight off, you can tell that this bolt here is ready to rock. So we will go for it. Alright, I was a little wrong on the front. I was threading that bolt down into it and realized I was going the wrong way, since the leaf spring is sitting on top of the control on these ones. So this one, you're actually pulling the bolt up as far as it'll go. We got it. We are into the next day. I took it for a test drive to let the suspension settle a little bit as you need to. And I'd say it looks pretty good. It definitely looks just a hair lower. The front barely came down any from what I measured. I'm gonna have to double check what the previous measurements are, but we'll take a closer look at that. The rear is definitely lower, but I think it looks pretty good, looks pretty level, and I'm happy with the way it came out. You can see we still got that wheel gap on the front end, but we measure it out here, and we got just a hair under 27 and a quarter, maybe 27 and a half. If I remember right, we measured 27 even, so only came down a quarter inch, maybe half an inch, not a whole lot, but it's okay. The rear, you can see we definitely lost the big gap. Our gap is just a hair smaller than the thickness of the tire now. And this one measures out to about 27 and 3/4, maybe 27 and a half, so we lost about 3/4 inch. I'm not gonna show you the other side because they're all the same. It came down pretty level side to side, so I didn't have to make adjustments. So I am happy with the way it came out. So you might be asking me, damn Coop, that's a cool car. What else can you do? There's not a single thing you can do to make it more perfect. Well, let me tell you. Next, we're gonna end up doing a Veraram intake system. Is my camera falling down as we talk? Oh well. After the intake, we're gonna do Borla exhaust, and then I need to get I think it's called MGW shifter. And to me, that should cover everything. Okay, I need a stereo too. I gotta do some stereo work. That'll cover everything, like what I would consider stage one. You know, that's like everything I need to do to make the car perfect in a stock sense. You know, it's like it's modified, but it's not heavily modified. It's just like barely upgrading what was factory to make it just a hair better. And it's like, to me, that's like how it should have came from the factory. So there's where we're going with it. And I'm out of parts right now, so I gotta order some more stuff.